Hi, welcome back to Thought Frogs, and I'm your host, Catherine. Today I have a surprise guest who will be joining us on the controversial matters of K-pop and its country. Please welcome Renee Rodriguez.
Hi, I'm Renee, and I have no prior knowledge of what's going on, but I'm here to assert my opinions and read some comments that were left on Twitter from the post that Catherine made.
Alright, so to begin with, a few days ago, I came across a video slash memorial edit on Instagram of the late Soli from the group FX. And for those of you who don't know who she and FX are, they are a girl group formed by SM Entertainment in 2009. They consisted of Victoria, Amber, Luna, Crystal, and Soli, and Soli was the one who died of suicide on October 14th, 2019. Along with her, Kim Jong-un also died of suicide, and he was also in SM Entertainment.
Oh, so SM Entertainment wasn't a good company? Or why did they die? Like, what's the reason?
That's a good question. Well, it wasn't exactly SM Entertainment, like they weren't the main reason, but this is where Korea's conservative culture comes in. In Asia, mental illness isn't really something spoken about, and it's not like they don't believe in it, but it's meant to be a private thing, which makes it hard for people or idols to reach out. Along with that, they're really critical of beauty standards. For example, in Korea, they prefer skinny women with thin thighs and small waists. They like hooded or double eyelids, pointed chins, and big eyes, which is why plastic surgery is kind of like a normal, natural thing in Korea. So even with plastic surgery, many idols are shamed or hated for being slightly chubbier. And for us in the US, that's pretty skinny.
So that means that Sully was bullied for her looks? And from what you said, as an idol, you're getting a lot of hate from thousands of people everywhere.
Exactly. So for Soli, she started to get hate for wearing shirts without bras, and the people of Korea started to cyberbully her for quotation marks showing off her nipples. This led to people calling her the Kim Kardashian of Korea, which honestly isn't even true, as Kim likes to flaunt her assets while Soli commented on a TV show that she does so for comfort, which most girls do. And people from the West will think it's extreme for Koreans to say that, but people from Korea think that their idols should remain pure and reserved, which kind of takes away their form of expression.
I see. So from there, these idols feel like they have to take themselves as a pure individual to continue to make a living. And I also remember reading some posts that a bunch of idols who are cyberbullied change their appearances with plastic surgery and they still get hate.
And that's why both female and male idols start to develop insecurities. There's low self esteem, eating disorders, and even depression, which obviously leads to the result of suicide. And now everyone is internationally is questioning Korea's political views on mental illness. This now just brings us to what we commented on my post on Twitter. So if you guys haven't checked yet, I posted about the idea of the episode, and I got lashback from Korea fans arguing that there's nothing wrong and that it was the fault of the idols. Renee will read the comments, and I will try my best to counter them.
Okay, so the first one says, as a Korean, I am offended by what you are trying to bring up. So what if we are a conservative country? How is being pure and not showing off our bodies equal to depression? You guys are also from a country with many suicides, even though you are able to do what we don't.
You are correct, and we do have a large number of suicides, even though we have freer views. However, most of these suicides are also because of beauty standards. We in the US have such unrealistic body standards that women and men feel like they are not enough. For example, women have the need to have bigger boobs, butts, and whatnot, while men believe they have to be buff and have abs. And although we have our own toxic standards, we have programs and other influencers that try to promote all types of beauty. And so by doing the opposite of promoting that beauty and teaching people to love themselves, such as being conservative and keeping those beauty standards, Korea is promoting eating disorders, especially in young girls, the need to hide illness and ignorance to those who have or hinted for help.
Number 2. Who are you to speak on Korean matters? Perhaps we are very reserved, but it is because we are trying to keep our culture and we are trying to preserve the importance of traditions.
Although it is important to keep tradition within a culture, it's harmful to keep traditions that keep creating a cycle of intergenerational trauma that oppresses the younger generations with toxic ideas of how they should look, act, and how they should be treated. This creates a cycle of mental illness that is hard to break for those who do want to live but feel trapped.
And the last one that we chose, how is it our fault that they are depressed, or how does our community affect their deaths? Shouldn't it be their responsibility to get help, or their company's responsibility?
Actually, companies, even big ones like SM Entertainment, often lack the support to help their idols because of Koreans' reserved nature. Even companies aren't sure of how depressed an idol is, and most likely they aren't even aware. This can be seen in SM's statement where they say, "We cannot believe that the situation we cannot believe the situation now, and we are just filled with grief." With that said, idols should not be at fault just because they are depressed and because they develop a mental illness. Again, it is a toxic cycle that comes from the said tradition of being pure and conservative, which cuts off one's ability to express themselves, and it promotes harmful criticism that cannot be changed as it is something that they're not in control of because they are the idol who is being bullied. Now that or Now, with that all said and everything, this is all for our episode today. Thank you to those who stayed and listened, and thank you to those who are creating a safe environment for those who need help. Renee, do you have anything else to say?
Right. Please spread awareness on what was spoken today, and look out for other idols who are cyberbullied for what they look like. An example of this could be
Junghyun?
Jung Young from Twice, who just suffered from a surgery and gained a bit of weight while resting. Instead of shaming her for being a bit chubbier, we should be worried that she may still be sick or suffering from mental illness. Thank you all for having me on this podcast.